Welcome to the Custom Culture Blast-Off podcast, where we dive into the world of custom art, cars, bikes, and the unique vibe of the Custom Culture Blast-Off Festival.
How are we doing, guys? We're back with another episode of the Custom Culture Blast-Off podcast, and it's been awesome to get back together again. It's felt like a while, but that's because we did it a bit before last time.
Well, we did the first one on the first weekend of December, didn't we?
We were organised. Now we're all getting withdrawals from sitting around here and chatting.
Yeah.
Chatting really important stuff with each other.
Oh, definitely important. Yeah, world changing stuff in the world's climate right now. This is the place you need to be.
Well, it makes more sense than the shit that's going on in the news, doesn't it?
Into that.
Exactly.
So joining us today is Matt and Josh and Peter. Peter runs his own custom Hotrod show, and he also runs a V-dub show, and I'm sure you do a multitude of other things that we'll get to very shortly, I guess.
Cool.
We're sponsored by Gnarly Magazine, Welcome, and Matchbook Customs and Black Sheep Customs, and we'll be getting into them throughout the episode, but just a heads up, a big thank you to them for your ongoing support. And yeah, this episode we're going to be talking about show updates. We're going to be talking about sort of like what we've been doing and how things have been going and the stuff we've got booked in, and we're also going to be doing our interview with Peter and talking about all of that, you know, his involvement with the custom culture scene, which has been quite a lot, and also his shows. So, you know, if you're in the area around that sort of time, get yourself booked in, because it's an awesome show. So yeah, how we doing, guys? Just off the top,
Cool.
You have Christmas, New Year, all that stuff.
I had COVID over Christmas, so yeah.
Oh yeah, you did, didn't you?
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, forgot about that.
And I had man flu. I had man flu as well.
You had man flu as well.
Yeah. Fucking hell.
Damn. Man fluless?
No, I was fine, mate.
You did all right.
There you go. You see.
Thanks,
Two of us had a good Christmas.
To be honest, I'm always happy when it's over with, because it's just one step closer to the summertime, because it's British winters are so savage. I don't think they're so glum, aren't they?
It has been. It feels like it's just not getting any warmer at the moment. I swear it keeps getting colder.
Yeah,
it's been icy, and it's been. I don't think the wind and rain and everything helps either. It's like just one. You're all right with, but everything all at once it started wears thin, doesn't it?
Well, bikes are fun because you can put them in a small space and work on them, and you're all right. Yeah. But as soon as like I've done is like get that Chevy and you're outside on the driveway all the time, it's like life is not fun anymore.
Oh, is that Chevy that you had to take the cover off because the wind was blowing it? But really, it's the first time we're all seeing that Chevy. Hey, so I've had to take it off. Yeah, all right, mate.
No, because I would have like stood there all sassy and like pulled it off, like
grand reveal. But it's only a straight six, isn't it? We spoke about it. We spoke about this on the phone.
Right, who wants my 500?
There is nothing worse than welding outside in the wind, and all your welding gas just disappears.
Well, to be honest with you, I got in a weird situation where I was under the truck welding, and my hood got stuck, so I couldn't move my head. You know what I mean? I was getting a bit stressed out under there, because it's like, you know, once you lose your head movement, you feel a bit claustrophobic, don't you? And it was like, you know, I'd literally just sold some of those ramps, where, you know, the old school ones where you drive them.
That you never use.
That I never used.
Until you need them.
Until I needed them. You know what I mean? And there I am with my fat head stuck under my truck. Like, my arms kicking and shit.
That's an interesting...
She never comes out to see if I'm alright.
Like, especially when you got a beard as well, like... All of a sudden, before having a beard, when you're grinding and welding, it didn't mean anything. But all of a sudden now, you're like, this thing can disappear very quickly. Well, like sparks and fucking hell, it's like shit.
Yeah, I had a similar situation at my last house, where Sean was doing the washing up, looking out the kitchen, and then a fireball with my legs came running out the garage. The idea with if you're using rags and brake clean to clean something.
Oh, no.
And then you're using heat to break it away, tidy away the rags with all the brake clean on them first, otherwise your entire bench catches fire, and you have that moment where you go, do I let it burn itself out and hope it's going to be okay, or do I pick it all out and run outside, and then the wind catches it and you lose half your beard?
Oh no.
Well, I know it's not custom culture related, but it's me, Jake, being a dickhead related. It was like the day before my wedding, and I was up at the farm and I chucked a load of fuel in the fire, and I gave myself a little trail like that to light it, and I had a shit lighter, so I was like stood over it with my lighter, and literally the day before my wedding it exploded in my face. and like completely like burnt my arm, lost my beard, like singed my eyebrows a lot, mate.
Yeah.
So for those that are considering to come into the custom culture, safety is key.
Yeah, because now I've doubled the length of the trail and I've got a better lighter.
Now, basically, the rest of us don't let Jake anywhere near anything combustible, or any of us.
And the
Actually.
jerry can caught fire as well.
Fucking hell.
Which
Did you throw it away because you panicked, or?
No, because I've realised the last time I did this, I've done this before. So last time the more I ran with the jerry can, the more vapour comes out, the more it combusts, doesn't it? So you've got to be calm.
Yeah. That's really easy when you're holding a bomb in it.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
Oh man, workshop accidents.
Yeah. Have you got a few?
I haven't really.
Oh bloody hell!
I haven't.
You're like one of those people that have ridden a bike for their whole life and never had an accident.
Oh no, I've come off my bike. Yeah.
Right, fair enough.
I've had some. I didn't hurt myself real bad, but I come off at real speed,
All right.
and I was wheeling at the time.
Oh shit! So you went back.
No, a mate of mine, he was going down an airfield, wheeling along, and he was in front of me, and he put his wheel down. So I thought I'll go past him. As I went up towards him, pulled across me.
Oh shit!
On his back,
Bloody hell.
my front wheel on his back, and I came off. He said he was doing a ton 30 when I hit him.
Fucking hell, dude!
Air ambulance, everything like.
God damn, air ambulance and everything.
Yeah.
And you walked away from it?
Yeah, but
Wow.
I had scars and all sorts.
Wow.
Everywhere, like, but I still got them.
God damn, man. Jesus
Yeah.
Christ. That's a gnarly one, that.
Yeah.
So you were all levered up, like.
Yeah. The leather's zip bust and the clip bust come up, so I've got scars here. Scars on my leg.
But it would have rubbed you down to fucking
It
bone
did,
if you hadn't
yeah,
have
yeah,
had them on.
Yeah.
Dressed for the ride, slide, not for the ride, innit?
Yeah.
I'm
Josh,
shorts and t-shirt.
Josh.
I'm still shorts and t-shirt. Like fucking Mrs.
I was
Driver
talking about
nuts,
shorts and
mate.
t-shirt. I saw you out in your mankini and your flip-flops.
I thought you said you were going to
Is
tell
that allowed
anyone.
to be unsafe?
My name is Jeff. Fuck.
Doing your best Borat impressions. Fuck the rules.
Jesus.
Take my kneecaps, man. I don't care.
Oh no.
Did you get your knee
No.
down on it as well with your shorts and t-shirt?
No. The only time I need flex when I'm falling off.
Yeah, bloody hell. Bit show updates. So stuff that's been happening, and we haven't had a good get together. So this is all kind of like, get to try it all out for the first time. Or anyway, between us all.
Exciting stuff.
So the marquee is booked and it's bloody whopping.
Excellent.
It's 200 feet and it's got a real wide span on it as well. So that's going to be like the central hub for everything. Everything's going in there. The bikes will be in there. The body painting, the airbrushing, like we spoke about before, in the middle, and the airbrushing. So how the exhibition hall used to be at the old Lincolnshire Showground, that's kind of how it's going to be. Kind of a back to that sort of feeling again. Where everything was kind of like centralised instead of it being like separated in all different marquees like we had last time.
So have you got an idea of location?
Yeah, so if you guys can remember where the big ones were against the hedge, where the panel jam sort of was, so it's going to be along that back hedge.
Okay.
So there'll be the stage where it was before, there'll be the massive 200 footer, and then on the back hedge, on the back bit, there'll be all the food vendors. Right. So that's how it's sort of shaping up to be now.
So it'd be cool to have it in the middle. It's kind of like going through to the forest.
Yeah.
I don't know why that just popped in my head. Almost like you, because I think like the wooded area is like that's the magic in it. Like that whole setting.
Yeah.
Like you're kind of coming through almost through like the wardrobe, like in lines, and you know what I mean, type of weird shit. But like, how magical would that be, type of thing?
It is weird because I guess you feel like you're in the middle of a field, and then before you know it, you're in like a completely different setting. It does feel like a complete set change, doesn't it?
Yeah, oh, it's cool as hell. I mean, I think I know I've said it loads of times. So when I explain the custom culture and like the Backwoods Barn Jam, when I explain the whole place in general, I'm like, it's an ability to disconnect from the bullshit of reality, because we all live a chaotic life. To go into a little wooded area that kind of almost doesn't feel like it belongs in the UK.
Yeah,
it's got like a swamp vibe to me. That's kind of like the way I explain it.
Delta blues, like Florida field.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Apart from every time everyone comes for a festival, it pisses it down. So no one's ever got to experience the Florida heat yet. You know what I mean? So it
always reminds me of the location for Evil Dead.
Well, that's kind of cool for the theme of the show, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
The B-movie theme. We've got the new sound engineer, which is Dave from Boombox. So
Dave.
Yeah, good old Dave, and you can always
All right,
trust
Dave.
him. Do you know what I mean? Because Daves don't let you down.
No, they don't.
So yeah, basically, that's all going to get taken care of. It's going to be like on point, on time. Everything's going to be like snappy and well rehearsed and all good to go. So all that stuff we dealt with last time is done and dealt with. So yeah, moving forward, that's we've got a new marquee, we've got new sound engineer. So that was two of the big-ish problems that we had last year already buttoned up.
Yeah.
Bands we've got, so it'd be interesting actually to sort of throw it out there and just like ask people, like, apart from rockabilly, what would you like to see there? Do you know what I mean? Like what sort of other stuff would you think would fit in well?
You can't keep everybody happy.
No.
And you can't also just put on what you like.
Yeah.
You've got to look at your demographic. Yeah. You've got to look at your demographic, can't you?
Yeah.
I think
try your
also
best.
Time of day as well, isn't it? Because I think like something like acoustic bluegrass works in the day when it's sunny, because it will be.
Yeah.
And everyone's sitting around chilling out, and then you want something a bit more kind of bouncing on a night. So, but yeah, I think the rockabilly and the rock and roll obviously works, but around that kind of thing, I can't imagine we're going to be booking a drum and bass act at any point. But, and I like that, but it's not right for the event. But you don't want to have the same kind of stuff on.
Yeah.
For every act.
I mean, I like a bit of Northern Soul. I think that goes quite well.
Yeah,
that,
that
always goes quite well.
I do like a bit of Northern Soul.
I like blues.
Blues, yeah.
Muddy Waters, Howling Wolf, B.B. King. I love dirty blues.
You're quite open
Dirty
to it,
blues.
aren't you, in Americana? There's a lot of different kind of sections to it. Because I mean, I guess that's what custom culture's kind of, a lot of it's based off, is the Americana kind of scene, isn't it? You know.
I mean, to be fair, like Blink 182 wouldn't feel out of place just during the day. Do you know what I mean? Just playing like people walking around looking at cars, some of the old Blink 182 stuff, like.
Yeah, like a decent pop.
Do you know what I mean?
Band, that'd
like,
work,
yeah.
You know, if you're just looking for a playlist for the day.
I've got a Blink 182 tribute band.
Oh, right.
I think they're doing Van Jam this year, but I can get the details.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, definitely.
Thing is it's with that as well, is people know the songs. So on a night when everyone's a bit more well-oiled, having a good time, you can sing along with stuff.
That's why Queen went down so
exactly,
well.
yeah. I mean, that's it. I'm not the biggest Queen fan in the world, but I understand how it fits on a night when everyone's beard up. It absolutely fits.
Yeah.
And I know the words to the songs because you can't help but know the words to them.
Yeah.
They're so widespread, aren't they?
Yeah.
But even being not the biggest fan, I absolutely agree that they were a great choice for the night.
Well, that's kind of what we're thinking for something like, I was even thinking like a Meatloaf tribute band, because it's like
AC/DC.
Yeah, AC/DC.
Yeah, the most played band in movies. A bit of useless information, but it is AC/DC are the most played band in movies.
Right up there. Thanks for that.
Well, I got to see him live last year, so I don't like to brag.
Nice.
Yeah.
I got to see him on YouTube.
It was like 800 quid for the tickets.
No.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, we weren't even
Jesus.
sat that close, but it was worth it. Do you know what I mean?
Not to digress, but ticket prices have got way out of hand.
Mate, Ticketmaster, mate, innit? All that shit happened with Ticketmaster, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
deliberate servers crashing. You know what I mean? When Oasis did what they did, like.
Thing is, though, is like, you compare like the likes of like our shows, which are like, I imagine like fairly similar priced or whatever, but it's like, you look at like, it's like 80 quid for a meal for two of you to go out for a meal now.
Yeah,
or
that's
it's like,
true. Yeah,
if you go out and see a band, you're looking at a 20 quid entrance fee for a shit band in a pub.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So if there's multiple of you going, it's like, hang on a second, like, plus your drinks, plus all that stuff, on like a uprated marketplace, like in these pubs and stuff where they know you're not going anywhere else, so you got to pay their prices.
Yeah.
And that's the thing
of me going to like Rock City in Nottingham and seeing Machine Head for less than a tenner.
Yeah, gone are the days of that. Yeah.
And the thing is, like, I suppose as you guys running shows, like you can't afford to have a shit tribute band. Like, it's put me off. It's actually put me off some bands going to a certain rally, listening to really bad quality tribute bands.
Yeah.
It's put me off that style of music. Just that whole idea of being stuck in that I didn't enjoy it. I just didn't, and it's kind of like no, thank you. Like move on from that.
Thing is, it's like the cost of the bands are going up alongside everything else that's going up. Not like it's an economy podcast, but do you know what I mean? It's like, you know, like, and so they should go up. Do you know what I mean? Because they have to pay for fuel and they have to pay for this and that and their time and stuff, which is, you know, reflected and all that. But it's like, you know, when you start fishing at the bottom of the barrel for bands, you do end up with some people that aren't as well versed in being live and stuff like that. You know, you do get what you pay for with bands.
But you say you say about it not being an economy podcast, but at the end of the day, I think that this is part of what it is. It's like being brutally honest as to why things. You know, this is an opportunity for people to go, okay, now I understand why it might have gone up a $5 from last year.
You're not having 10 headliners.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You've got to have your big uns, and then you have people that are really good, but they just might not be able to like call for as much money because they just don't have as much sort of popularity or whatever, you know.
So do you guys have people come into your events just to listen to a certain band? Like they might, because I'm guessing not everyone is a tribute band, right?
I wouldn't say as much for the custom culture, but I'd say for the other one we do, which is the Barn Jam, which is more sort of like, you know, that sort of thing. Then you'll get like people coming to see Trucker Diablo, which is playing. Like they're quite a big band,
right?
So they will just come specifically for them. Spike Out of the Choir Boys. I don't know if you remember the Choir Boys. It was like 80s. You'll probably remember them, and that you'll probably remember them.
Yeah. I didn't, but I don't know who they are. Yeah,
but like
I wasn't even born in the 80s,
groupies, mate. They had groupies. You know what I mean? Like coming to the actual festival and that to like, you know, come and just see them there. Bit awkward, bit stalkery it was. Do you know what I mean? Bit stalkery, but bit like Misery. Do you know what I mean?
None of you remember me.
But yeah, I don't know about you. About, you know, you probably get, I mean, you do get people that will see a band and go, yeah, fuck it, I'll definitely go now.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's mainly like custom culture. People come for the event, not just for the bands.
Yeah,
I think there's some now that are going more into the music as well. I do a Volkswagen show called Mighty Dubfest, and they basically, I don't think they'd be offended at this. They see themselves as a music festival with cars rather than a car show with music.
Yeah.
So you're definitely getting a bit of a crossover now.
Yeah. I mean, that, you know, they've got to be out there, aren't they? I mean, good music festivals. At least you're actually going to get quality music and quality sound.
Yeah, I mean, like
it's because it's a car show. It's fairly cheap as well to see a lot of bands that are probably better than some that would be at other shows. Maybe not, I don't know, but because I'm trading, I don't get to see a lot of them. But if you think that a car show is, I don't know, call it 50 to 60 quid for a weekend, it's still a lot cheaper than a 3-day music festival.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, and you're getting a lot more, and it's usually a lot like smaller, quieter, more of a chill atmosphere in it, you know.
Yeah. I mean, Pharaoh's had like Iron Maiden, Deep Purple, Black Sabbath headline. You know, Pharaoh in Portugal. I mean, they've had Rammstein. Unfortunately, when I went, it was Europe. It was like fucking Europe, like there's all these mate. Literally, everyone's going crazy. Me and my dad are looking at each other. We're in a crowd of about 20,000. I mean, Pharaoh's huge. Like anyone that knows the rally, it's huge, and like there's just literally you can't. It's swamped. Probably good 10,000+ people in this arena, and me and my dad just look at each other like, what the fuck?
Just try not to make eye contact. Don't look at me, Dad.
Don't look at me, Dad.
Oh damn, man. Yeah, no, it's the bands are an interesting one, and getting it right, you know, even harder.
Yeah,
sometimes.
it's not easy sometimes.
And then I guess the more shows you do, the more you go through bands. So you have to constantly rotate as well. You can't be having like the same stuff, you know, all the time.
No.
But people did want Queen back, but we'd probably get them back like maybe next year or something like that.
Years,
you know,
so,
because I suppose running a show like you can't be repetitive, can you?
No.
No. And that's another thing that's hard is like constantly trying to think of new ways to be inspired to like, you know, do other stuff. You know what I mean?
I think the chill out bands, you know, like the ones that are sat around the fire, and there's probably 2 of them, and they're just chilling out, singing chill out music, and other people sit around and watch them. You can have them back yearly because people come to see them.
They're like jam bands, aren't they?
Yeah. You know, that's quite cool. But
I mean, that is the Barn Jam in one.
Yeah.
That other one that we do. That's literally sitting around the fire, chilling, listening to people playing unplugged. Really, isn't it? That's a lot of that stuff later on in the night.
Yeah.
But I think that's something that we want to add to the custom culture is that So once all the music's done with and the fire's going and everyone's just sort of like relaxing, just having someone just playing.
Yeah.
We might even have an open mic.
That'd be nice.
Do you know what I mean? So if someone wants to come and like jam on a guitar or do a bit of this or do a bit of that, you know, come along and just have a jam. You know, it'll be later in the night, so everyone will be pissed. So you could sing like shit and no one will care.
I'll be there then.
I'll do my Kylie Minogue and everyone will be like, yeah, Jake.
Everyone next morning, great set, dude.
Yeah,
really?
I've heard about your Kylie Minogue.
Oh, mate, it's
that dress
legendary.
don't fit you, does it?
Actually, this actually puts me onto a good point. So we were speaking to Sue and Mick on the phone, and Mick, on the last show, said to me, with Adam O'Connor, so I hope you're listening, dude, that they were going to get up on stage and they were going to do a male burlesque set with mankinis on.
Right.
So they're being held to this. And Mick shook my hand. So for all you ladies out there that are a bit disappointed that there's only female burlesque dancers on, like, now all your dreams can come true. You know.
So what happens if they don't deliver? Have you got to step to the plate?
For a third person, no, because it's called repeat custom. Like, we want to drive people away, but like they need a third, dude.
Oh,
I mean, the hair. You could match the hair to the mankini.
That impressive, that really handsome strong man that we had.
Oh, that poor guy, wasn't it? The matty moustache, mate. He ended up just getting so much hassle, didn't he, off everyone?
He was
you didn't see, did you?
No, was that the first night?
Right. Everyone was just hollering shit.
Yeah, they were
bantering with him.
Was that on the Friday night?
No, that was Saturday night.
I think it's Saturday night. Yeah, he was.
But it was in between the burlesques.
Was it entertainment? Was it?
Yeah, he was kind of like a cabaret.
Yeah, he was doing like strongman stuff, like folding saucepans and stuff. But he was funny as well, wasn't he? So he's put on a really good show. But I think everyone was just disappointed there weren't kind of half-dressed women. Yeah. half-dressed ladies.
So he came on after the burlesque.
He was kind of in between.
Yeah, I mean that's a risky move to take, isn't it?
Well,
like, between women on a stage.
Well, then she sat on his face.
Yeah,
on the stage, and then sang "My Sex Is on Fire."
Yeah,
I think it was about herpes. I think the whole thing was about herpes.
That's pretty much what I thought that song was about. Yeah,
a bit of
I was going to say on fire. It's
Did he agree?
I mean, he didn't really have much of a chance, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Didn't look like he was in control of the situation at all. But, you know, well, I wish someone would pay me to go and do that on a stage. I'd be quite happy. Yeah. To do the face sitting, not the one with, sorry, Lauren, don't kill me.
We'll cut that bit out.
He wanted to sit on his face.
Mate, if he would have paid me enough, do you know what I mean? 20 quid's 20 quid, Pete.
Times are hard.
Yeah, it's not an economy podcast.
No.
Oh dear. And camping as well. So there'll be videos coming now. Hopefully when the weather calms down a little bit, I can get up to that other field and let people know. You know, I can show people like videos of the camp field and all that good stuff. And it'll also change like where because like we said before, I think we've mentioned before, like the clubs were sort of away from where they were actually showing and stuff like that. It was a bit disjointed. So on the other field that's next door to the current field, there's going to be an area that's dedicated just for the clubs, and they're basically going to have their club stands at the front, and they're going to be camping behind. So everything will be nicely together. Yeah. And all the clubs that were disjointed before and had to park away from your cars or camp away from your cars, you'll be together. So you'll have your own little pictures.
So that's the field to the left, heading towards the woods.
So no one's seen that field. Yeah, no one's been.
But is that the field we're on about though?
Yeah, and it's a big field as well. Like,
that's a good way of doing things. Yeah, because half the fun of going to a car show a lot of the time is looking at the show and shine and then wandering around the campsite, because there's always hidden gems in the campsite. Yeah, it's like people that either for some reason don't think the cars are good enough or just don't want to show them. Yeah, so there's always, and you get to, because generally they're in the campsites, so, and the owners are there somewhere near and you get to talk to the people as well. Yeah,
so it'll be like that, but it'll be a bit more organised. Yeah, you know what I mean. So you'll actually be able to see what's on show because we've got a lot of room. We can play around and we can do stuff like that now.
And it gets people moving around and not just becoming stagnant in one place. Because what I say, like obviously we spoke on the last show about it being very much a family orientated show. Kids don't just want to stand still in one field. You know, they kind of want to kind of venture off, like the idea that you can venture off and still look at really cool cars.
Yeah,
You know, and bikes and whatever else incredible things are going to be there. It makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think it's nice to be able to have that ability to like walk and sort of see stuff. You know, like some shows can be like they dump it all in and then like that's your lot. But it's like, you know, we're just lucky enough to have the woods where, you know, like we've been saying, we're gonna bring that into it, and we're gonna be having stuff all the way around the woods that people can get involved in, and there's gonna be a lot more stuff for kids. A lot more like demos and face painting and treasure maps. So for all, you know, for the parents out there that have got like, you know, that you just want like a minute of just silence and just quiet for once in your life, we'll give it to you.
Also, we'll
look after you.
We spoke last time about Matt's idea with the Tiny Tights cars. I mean, that's obviously not just aimed at dads wanting to cut up their kids' old cars, but to try and encourage kids to get involved.
That hydraulics, man.
Oh yeah,
that was sick, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I would love to see. Like, I know there's going to be groups of people that have got together and just gone, yeah, let's do it. And there might be a group of friends or something like that. But I'd love to see like parent and son or daughter teams and things like that. It'd be nice to see a mix of people if we get it off the ground. I mean, it might be that. Hopefully it'll happen this year. It might not.
Sorry?
You know the Tiny Tights kind of cozy coupe cars that you push along the plastic
red and yellow ones. Yeah.
I don't know how this started. It might have been because I was on a late night kind of doom scrolling session or something.
I'm sure you were under the influence. I think I seem to remember you'd been out or something.
I saw a modified one, and I kind of went down the rabbit hole of finding all these modified, either stretched out with lawnmower engines, like mock-up engines in the front of them, things like that, or lowered on hydraulics and that. I said, I think the second podcast said, wouldn't this be a good idea? And it's evolved from there.
Yeah, definitely.
It might not happen this year because I think we've got a lot happening this year, but what I would like to see at some point is some kind of, not a build off at the show, but a lot like the bike one that we're going to talk about later. You bring one and I'll make a little trophy or something, and we'll just have a little car show for these modified Tiny Tykes, and hopefully like Josh will be walking around with a mic and he can interview the teams that have built and things like that. And it's another thing where it's kind of, it's something cheap, or judging by some of the ones I've seen online, not so cheap if you want, that people can do and just have a bit of fun with it, really.
Isn't it?
It's just having a bit of fun.
Yeah, it's getting that involvement and that, you know, it's like you said, it's accessible.
Yeah,
I think, you know, it's like not everyone can afford to do like a mad build with unlimited money, you know. So it's something that like you can actually show off a little bit of your skill as well. You know, if like you're good at painting, you can do a nice paint job on it and stuff like that.
Yeah, and whether we limit the budget or just say it's nothing to do with budget, it's just how creative you are.
Yeah, you're not going to get judged on how much money you spend.
Yeah, like, it's not. If you spend £3 on a cozy coupe, first off, I'm sure you must have stuff to spend £3,000 on. But it's not as imaginative as someone who spent £50. Then the £50 one's going to win it. Yeah,
exactly that.
Well, the reality is that like you can guarantee there's some 15-year-old kid out there really good on a computer that has access to a 3D printer, and all of a sudden 3D prints his own over fenders like your cube, or 3D prints a small block V8 and does a stretched out. Do you know what I mean? It's so cool.
At that age, they're slowly drifting away from their fathers or their mothers, depending on who they're closest to, but it's usually a father and a son or whatever, and they usually like, you know, going for girls and not wanting to sit with dad in his garage like fucking around with old bikes and all that good stuff. So at least it's like another way to maybe, you know, be able to do something together. Do you know what I mean? And there's cash prizes. There'll be a bit of a cash prize. There'll be some bits and bobs. Do you know what I mean? Like some.
Oh yeah, I mean, I imagine the sponsors will get behind anything we do like that, and
don't think mad money, but there'll be
something special. Whether it's a voucher from a trader or something nice from another trader. Yeah, it's there'll always be some kind of something special for doing it.
Well, we'll put something out there, and you know, if a couple of people do it, then maybe next year, then a few more will do it. You know, I think people have to see things work, and then they get involved. Yeah. You know what I mean? I think that's a lot of it, isn't it?
Well, that's it. It's like the show, isn't it? We can say that last year was our dry run, and we know which direction we're headed in now. It was a success by and large, but we know what needs. Nothing needs changing, but what needs tweaking a bit, and what extra we can add. We now know what we've got to play with, what space we've got to play with, things like that. So this is when we start evolving it.
Yeah, definitely. And another cool thing that's going to be coming is the wrestling. on the Sunday. So it's not naked and oily, Josh, before you start,
Oh
mate.
fuck! I'm going home early then.
Naked and oily.
I'm going home early. I'm gonna lose some weight first.
Nah, keep it.
All right.
My kids asleep upstairs. I give them nightmare.
The wrestling goes down really well.
Does it?
Yeah. It's funny to watch because you see all the kids around the ring and the adults, and some of the dads are taking it real serious. You know what I mean? Look at that idiot there. You know, he wants to get in the ring and have a go himself.
Yeah.
Mate, it's pantomime. It's a good laugh. Calm down. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's like when you hear the kids playing like five-a-side on a Sunday and you hear the dads, innit? They're the worst.
Yeah.
Well, they go for it, don't they?
Yeah, I was that dad.
Was you like that?
Yeah, but I was that dad. I know nothing about football, and I've got 2 left feet. And all of a sudden, my son plays football, and I am the best manager in the world that knows nothing about football.
Oh, man. I bet he's like, please stop it.
Yeah, he was just like, Dad, you're embarrassing.
Offside. I don't even know what it is, but shout anyway. Nice one. So we'll go to our ad from Matchbook.
Is your Harley Davidson feeling a little stock? You know, like it's rolling down the road with training wheels? Does it lack that growl, that rumble, that oomph? Well, at Matchbook Custom, we've got the cure for your motorcycle's midlife crisis. Whether it's performance upgrades, custom builds, or making it look like it could bench press your neighbor's car, we do it all. Because let's face it, a stock Harley is like showing up to a biker rally on a scooter. We're the Harley specialist just outside Stamford, UK. Ready to give your bike the balls it's been begging for. Custom parts, slick gear, and upgrades so hot, your bike will practically start dating a Ducati. So don't let your ride limp along. Bring it to Matchbook Custom, where stock bikes go to grow a pair. Visit us at www.mbc.style. Yeah, that's right, we're so cool even our website's got style. Or email us at matchbookcustom@gmail.com. Side effects of visiting Matchbook Custom may include excessive horsepower, spontaneous wheelies, and your neighbors wondering why their bikes suddenly feel inadequate. Matchbook Custom, where Harleys get jacked and stock bikes cry in the corner.
Awesome. Welcome back, guys.
Man needs his...
Oh, shit. Leaving it in. Leaving it in.
You keep going to clap and then you realise.
Yeah. I can't help it. I'm like, action.
Yeah.
Welcome back, guys. How's it going? Fucking hell. I keep clapping. I'm leaving this in.
It works, man. It
I can't
works.
help it. I'm like a Hollywood actor.
We're
Action.
pretty much professional on the fourth podcast, aren't we?
Mate, that's it. And once I clap, that's it then.
Yeah.
Serious, mate.
Game face.
So that was an ad from Matchbook. So again, if you need
That's
anything
again.
doing for your again, I'm clapping, I can't help it.
Right, new drinking game. Every time Jake claps, you got to do a shot.
Or I go. So that was Gnarly Magazine. That was Matchbook Custom even. Gnarly Magazine, I don't like to talk about it, but they're a sponsor of ours as well.
Oh, right.
But if you need anything doing with your Harley, upgrading or detailing or ceramic coating or anything like that, go and head down to Matchbook Custom, and that was about 5 claps in one because I kept doing that.
And also, don't forget to head down next month when we'll be there live.
Yeah.
Oh, you're giving away the secrets. Yeah, we're going to be there live doing it from there. So.
And this is us recorded, so imagine how good it's going to be.
Yeah.
Oh, polished.
Yeah.
Knowing exactly what to say. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And I'll try and keep the clapping down to a minimum. I've got to be sober because I've got to drive because I don't trust Lauren's driving that far.
Oh, we've all got to drive. Okay, yeah, definitely so.
Yeah.
I thought you were
Where is it
carpooling. Stamford.
Oh, it's not far from me.
No, you could drink drive that, couldn't you? Back road it, it'd be alright.
Not that we're condoning drinking.
No. Well, drinking, just not drink driving.
Yeah, not drink driving,
I
yeah.
condone drinking fully.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
that's why this is on our side, mate. Got a bit of some stuff to talk about with the artists and the traders and stuff like that. And thought it'd be cool just to like head up with like you've been working on the flyer design and it's looking really cool, isn't it? It's looking really cool. And even more impressive has been the equipment that you've used to create it. So we're going to be doing the release for the flyer. Well, this will be out by then, won't it? Because it'll be coming. The flyer will be out sort of.
Well, this goes live on the last Sunday of the month. Gets released on the last
so
Sunday.
The flyer will be ready by then.
Either you've already seen it and it's like holy shit, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's fucking well cool.
But yeah, I mean, so what was the inspiration behind it again? Was it?
Well, the inspiration was the theme. We kind of decided on this kind of B-movie / horror theme, didn't we? So I went for a similar kind of layout idea to last year's, where it's a lot of things all on there, kind of basically trying to show every different aspect or most different aspects of the show, but do it on a more kind of B-movie, hammer horror kind of kind of vent, I suppose. It's so stuff like Frankenstein's monster, Wolfman, you know, shots of graveyards. You sent me some old B-movie posters. So yeah, bit of everything kind of smashed together. Basically, what you would expect from a flyer for Custom Culture Blast Off, but with a bit more horror and B-movie. And
I'm surprised that a lot of people don't know what B-movie is.
I must admit, I didn't until
it's a
you
weird
guys
one, isn't it?
really.
It is a bit of a niche, I guess. You know.
Well, it's a strange one because it's like a lot of things possibly get lumped in there that shouldn't be. But like your old Hammer horror films, they were dead serious at the time. They were played straight, but you would see them as B movies now because the effects are a bit ropey. The acting's probably a bit over the top. But I mean, people are still making B movies now, like stuff like Extraction that was on Netflix is known as a B movie.
Are they kind of like indie films now? Are they kind of called indie films?
They're kind of they know what they are. They're kind of almost trashy, schlocky entertainment, but kind of played with a straight face. You don't have this kind of Marvel kind of winking at the camera and they know how daft they are. It's played straight, but it's kind of stupid stuff played straight, I suppose.
But then it's like, you know, you imagine like, you know, like what that was like watching like the Wolfman or something for the first time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
you know, you would have been shitting yourself.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you? You know what I mean?
It would have been a serious movie back
exactly.
then.
Yeah, I mean, in the 30s, seeing I think it was
Creature from the Blue Lagoon.
yeah, stuff like that. I think it was Cheney. His name was. I think seeing him morph into the Wolfman for the first time probably would have been, well, not only kind of magic because how did they do it, but probably was scary. Yeah. It's like we've been kind of desensitized with the stuff and with not only the effects, but they kind of the level of horror and stuff like that they're now allowed to show in films.
Kids movies scare me now.
Yeah.
Some of them are a bit crazy.
Is this a kids movie?
See, I've done like one of my friends has got half a sleeve with old B movie characters, but I didn't know them to be. I've done the original werewolf, Belatov as Dracula, Bride of Frankenstein, Frankenstein's monster, and I've done all the bottom of my mate's arm, and that's one of my favourite styles to tattoo. But I didn't know they were called B movie characters.
And you think about stuff like that as well. Is they set a template for what we still understand to be like Dracula, Bela Lugosi.
Yeah.
Everyone knows what they may not have seen the film, but everyone knows what his version of Dracula looks like. Christopher Lee's like a similar style, and that became what Dracula is. It's like all the kind of the lore from the Wolfman and things like that. Full Moon came from, I don't think it was in the first film, but I think the second or third werewolf film kind of established all that, like Silver Bullets and things like that. It's weird to see the kind of influence they have over stuff we watch now.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's had a massive influence, like in the culture and stuff. You know, when you think about like the use of Frankenstein in like the amount of like custom. Yeah, that's it. You know, it's everywhere, isn't it? And I think it's one of those sort of like root things that it'd be interesting to do a bit more looking into that and like. But it probably came down to some dude was building a hot rod and thought, I'm going to put Frankenstein on the side because it's probably built out of loads of different parts. Or do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, it's. You know, it's like Ed Roth and all that stuff. It's like around that sort of time, they were probably just drawing inspiration from different things. Probably a lot of these people that were doing the illustrations for the movie covers were also doing freelance stuff.
I think back in the 50s and 60s, with the monsters and things like that, a lot of the movie companies employed people like Roth and to build these cars for the movies in the series, like the monsters.
Like George Barris. I mean, think about you've got the original Batmobile, amazing car. The Munster coach, the Monkeys car was by Barris, wasn't it? The Coffin Dragster, Pink Panther mobile. Like, if you think about nearly every cool movie and film car from back then, probably had Barris' name on it because he was that kind of ubiquitous with that kind of scene. Right.
That's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, really cool stuff. Yeah.
So I wonder where. I mean, all that stuff will be in a museum somewhere, won't it?
I think it's a lot of it's in the
collection.
I think some of the stuff's in the. Is it the Galpin collection? Hasn't they got a few?
I think they have.
Yeah, but I imagine it'll be everything will be in some kind of collection, especially the originals, because there'll be so many replicas of them now as well.
Oh yeah. You know, someone's sitting on some money.
Oh yeah.
With that.
Yeah.
Have you ever owned a Christine?
No.
No. See, I'd love to own a Christine.
Oh, my favourite film.
Yeah, is it?
My favourite film.
I love that film.
Plymouth
It's so
Fury, isn't it?
Plymouth Fury. Yeah.
I can't remember the year.
Such a beautiful car.
The film is just
58,
great.
57, I think, on it.
The music is great.
Sounds familiar,
The whole
yeah.
vibe of it is incredible.
But that's the kind of like the same sort of like aspect of the movie culture.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like integrating it in. I mean, it's like you said, a lot of hot rods you can see that are based off of sort of drawings from people that were doing sort of stuff back then. You know what I mean? Wacky Racers style, innit?
Oh yeah.
So how many cars have you got then? You've got a fair few. Have you got quite a collection?
I've not got a collection. I've just got a couple of hot rods.
But you've owned a few in your time, kind of done your cycle through.
I've had so many vehicles in my time.
Yeah,
it is unbelievable.
Like the kit, you've owned a few V5s, and you own a few V5 collections, and you.
yeah. I've still got a V5 collection to be fair, but yeah, I've got a couple. I've got a 31 Roadster. 29 Roadster.
Right, well, yeah.
I've got a 32 Roadster. No, I've got 29 Coupe, sorry.
Right.
32, and then a few mod stuff. I've got an International Metro panel van.
That is cool.
Right.
Yeah.
That won my choice at Viva Skeg Vegas. Love that thing.
What, my old...
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it was you, wasn't it? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I've not got that one now.
Oh, right.
No, I've got another one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've just bought the donor car for it.
Yeah, I didn't actually know what it was. It was like the step band kind of
thing. Yeah,
because
that's what it came. That's what Toby said. That step band thing. And I'm still doing. He said the registration. I'm like, right. That's my registration. Yeah.
That's what when we did the trophies on the Sunday. We was reading out registrations, and a lot of people were just like, "No, I don't know my own registration."
Yeah. No,
shit.
Oh, I don't. I don't.
Yeah, I love that. I love that van. But it wasn't. Although it had a V8 in it, it wasn't quite fast enough.
Right.
So it had the Jag V8 in it. So the new one I'm building has got will have a supercharged Jag V8 in it. So
cool.
That's a bit of the extra poke for you.
Yeah.
That must feel incredibly fast in a tin box.
Oh, it was quick.
It gets to 30 fast and stays there.
I could go anywhere. Would it been Jaguar underneath?
Yeah.
Me and my mate went down to Cornwall in it. Fast lane all the way down.
Yeah.
Door slid back.
Oh yeah, of course you can legally drive them with the doors open. That's pretty old school kind of street rod, though, isn't it? All the Jag underpins.
Yeah. But pretty old school British street rod. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. But I just wanted something modern. Didn't want to be messing about with old engines and stuff.
So bloody hell! I've seen on Facebook some poor guy. He put a BMW M3 diesel engine in like a Chevy Impala, and the hate he's.
I'd love to do that.
It's like people are like, mate, just going to town on him. It's like shit.
God, I mean,
Well, we were talking a lot about this in the car.
that bugs me.
Like, there should be no hate.
Yeah. It's hot rodding. It's what works and what you can afford and what you love doing. It shouldn't matter what's in it. I mean, it's a popular swap, the 3-litre BMW diesel, because it's got a load of poke.
Yeah.
It fits quite well, fills the engine bay. I've worked on a C10, I think it was, truck with one in. I know someone else who's got a Dodge, I think it's an 80s Dodge van with one in, and it's a good tool for the job.
Yeah.
And they go well. Like BMWs, I used to work in a remapping place. BMWs love a map, and they're notoriously known for lying about the power from standard. Anyway, when they claim them to be like, I think like it's the Z4, the straight 6 inline 3 litre, like that's like 300 and something horsepower, and you put them on the dyno, like they're running about 30-40 brake more. And they're never the same. Like there's things on YouTube you can see it where they literally just they just dyno standard BMWs and see how much more power they're producing and what they're really claiming.
Oh right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's just a thing.
Yeah, I mean, everyone just goes straight for the LS swap, don't they? Really, when they want to go something against the grain.
I've never done an LS swap.
No.
I can see why people do because it's I wouldn't say it's easy. Of course, it's no engine swap. I think is easy,
No.
but there seems to be a lot of support. and a
Crate
lot of-
engines, aren't they?
Yeah,
Just bang 'em
there's
in.
a lot you can do with them. Like you see a lot of people on kind of the YouTube channels, LS, Holly Terminator, and obviously they make it look easy, but it seems fairly straightforward because everyth's kind of made to fit
Yeah.
together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plug and play stuff,
Yeah.
innit?
I can see why people do it, definitely.
It's like seeing a dude on Facebook. Like, they'll go, "Oh, you can like upgrade your Sportster engine within in 3 hours." If you know what you're doing,
Yeah.
and you've got all the tools there that you know which tools you
Yeah.
need. I've got to search through fucking five drawers before I find that right Allen key. Do you know what I mean? By then I'm pissed off and like motivated. Do you know what I mean?
Now 8 bikes.
Regretting buying American because none of your metric tools fit.
God damn it. I mean, I've even been digging out the old toolboxes with like bits in the bottom just to be like what's a 6/19? I don't know. I don't work like that. You know what I mean? Yeah, bloody hell. So back to sort of like the flyer and stuff.
Yeah.
So that cool tablet laptop thing you've got,
Yeah,
mate, that thing is so cool.
it is really cool. Yeah,
And I mean, I see a lot about them, but I mean, I've never like seen one being used before, and it's so clean, isn't it? And efficient.
yeah, I think there's a certain amount of resistance, I think, from me as well, because I hand paint things, I hand draw things. I'm probably late to the game with the whole kind of digital drawing, even though I did used to feed my pen and ink drawings into Photoshop and then colour them, because you get really solid kind of clean colours.
How did you do that?
Basically scan them.
What are they? But how did you scan them in and then
On
just...
Photoshop, what you can do is you can make your outline a layer and put a layer behind that and colour that so you don't go outside the lines effectively.
Right.
So it's what you can do on this program, but because of it having the stylus and it being a laptop that can fold into a tablet, it's a lot quicker, and you have got to just kind of embrace this kind of stuff. I hand draw everything to start with, but in pencil, but then if you scan that in and then start working on it digitally, it's quicker, it's cleaner, you can resize it without anything going kind of weird or anything like that. Because I think the size I'm working on, that, because it's a fairly powerful laptop, if you printed it out 1:1, would probably be kind of A3 or maybe even A2.
Right.
So then when we shrink it down to A5, it's going to look really
super
crisp.
high definition.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's something I've probably resisted, but it's definitely the right way, especially for graphics work.
Would you encourage other artists to?
Yeah, definitely to have a go. I mean, it's not going to work for everyone. I mean, and I've seen people get really good results from basically just drawing stuff and then printing from that. It depends what works for you. I find my work tends to be more kind of, I'd say, crisp, kind of graphic cartoon from a point of view of quality. As in quality of lines and stuff like that, no matter what the subject matter is. So it suits me.
Yeah, it's
But
it does
I
fit your
definitely
style.
advise anyone to have a go, because you might realise you didn't know what you were missing.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's kind of like that scared of that kind of dubious of new technology, and like does it water down the traditional sense of what? you're actually doing?
Are you do you see yourself still as truly an artist if you're using? And it's the way I look at it. It's a different tool. It's like it's a really kind of relatively expensive electronic pencil, if you like. It's just a different way of making a mark on something. There's something just doesn't exist apart from in your computer, but it's still the same thing. It's not doing it for you, it's just you're using a different tool to do it.
Yeah, at the end of the day, like, it's still going from your head to your hand to the actual, whatever you're doing.
Exactly that,
I mean?
It's so much faster. It's unreal.
Yeah. Well, we had to stop doing cavalry charges at tanks, didn't we? Back in World War II.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? At some point, you have to, like,
You've got to embrace it. Yeah, it's.
When are you going to buy a Tesla? No, I'm joking.
Cut.
I'm going to get one of those Echo Leaf.
One of them beep things is what we're going to get every time you say fucking Tesla. This isn't the first time now, Jake. You trying to tell us something?
I'm gay. No.
First you go and buy an inline 6 truck, not a V8.
Hey,
now you keep mentioning Teslas.
Well, listen, I'm not a hairdresser with your Fiat 500.
Hey, it belongs to my missus.
Oh, yeah. So does my Chevy.
For tax purposes.
No, she can't reach the pedals. If I was the taxman, I'd be like, go and sit in it and then drive it. You know what I mean? I'm jealous of that ability to be able to like sit somewhere and have your feet swinging.
Is it kind of like?
Yeah, he just gets to sit there. Like when Deadpool loses his legs and he grows back his little baby leg.
Yeah,
that's what she's like when she sits behind the van. You know what I mean? Please don't hit me. I've done that before as well.
Trouble now.
Yeah, mate, I'm always in trouble. It's perpetual.
You're like, can you prove I said it? Well, it's on Spotify, it's on Amazon Music, it's on iTunes.
That's
it's
a
on
good plug from where you can find the podcast.
It's right.
Oh, there. So, Black Sheep Customs. Just a bit of a word for them. Before they we get something sorted with an advertisement. If you need American, you need work done to your American car, they're a really good place to start. A wealth of knowledge, family-run business, and they're great people. Just get on the phone to them, and I'm sure they'll direct you in the right way, whether it's them or if it's probably someone else. That seems to be what you find a lot about this community is, I rang up a Ford guy to ask for Chevy parts, and he was like, "No, you don't want me. You want this guy." And a lot of people are like constantly passing people around.
Yeah.
I know. I'm surprised he didn't spit at me down the phone.
I was going to say, as long as you weren't in person, he might have punched you.
I was going to say, did you ring him for a laugh or?
Mate, I ended up speaking to a guy called Chevy Jim. Then I ended up speaking to a guy called Albert. And then there was random Cockney dudes that I was just ringing in the middle of the day to ask them for like a Chevy Fender or something like that.
I think that's how you know you've got someone who's trustworthy. If they're willing to. If they can't help you, but they're willing to put you onto someone who can, that's how you know you've got someone who's decent.
Chevy Bits is palm fresh anyway.
Yeah.
Well, that's where I've gone, and really, really nice guy. And he's actually, I'm jumping in on his container coming over April, May. So they're nice enough to be like, I'll get your bits and I'll just bang them in a truck when they bring stuff over. So do you know Farm Fresh then? Do you know?
I don't know them personally. No.
Got some nice stuff.
They built some amazing trucks, don't they?
Yeah, really, really nice trucks.
I head to them if I, want Chevy Bits. So.
Right. Yeah. Well, is that any Chevy Bits as well? Is it?
I'll try them if I can't.
Yeah. Just doing the ring around, I guess, is what you do, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I mean, it's weird that there's no direct play. For Harleys, you've got Hog Parts, you've got ARH or something like that.
Try the Harley shop.
What, the actual dealership?
No, the Harley shop. It's my belly's one. Harley shop. It's up north somewhere. Can't remember where it's at. But there's an old girl that runs it.
Right.
And she is a wealth of knowledge, mate.
Right.
And just a load of old stock.
Right.
Stuff. All the used stuff. I've not spoke to her for a couple of years, but anything you want to know about old Harleys, ring her and she'll tell you.
Wow,
that's awesome. It's even better that it's the last one in it. You know what I mean? It's even better. Yeah. But I mean, where do you go for like American car parts in this country? Is there there's no like big warehouse stocked with random stuff, is there?
No, but you can get stuff within 7 days anyway. Or what?
Is it Rock Auto?
Rock Auto, yeah.
But it's the duty tax. It's the duty tax when you're paying it to come in, isn't it?
Yeah, but you pay Rock Autos. They deal with all that. You can sometimes get stuff from Rock Autos, order something from Rock Autos. It's here within the week, and you try other places in England, and they take 2 weeks to get the stuff to you. So
right. Oh, that's it. I'll have to have a look on them then.
Yeah,
I think I've been on their site, but new stamped parts in it.
Yeah, like your service parts and stuff like that. I see a lot of people get stuff like that from them because it's proper.
Yeah.
Well, I just didn't know how if to actually jump in with them and actually order parts from them, because obviously I didn't. You have to be part of the culture. You end up part of the culture when you end up doing this stuff, because you're always on a thirst for more knowledge, aren't you?
Yeah.
You pick up you get a pinstriping set for Christmas, you're going to automatically start hunting out other people to get their knowledge and see and find out all these little tips and tricks. You know what I mean? And the American car community, it's like you have to be in an American. You have to be a part of the community to get anywhere in terms of finding bits and bobs or learning what fits on what, you know what I mean? Because there's always someone out there that knows their stuff. Same with the VW crowd, same with the scooter crowd and motorbikes.
It's generally a lifestyle, isn't it?
That's it.
You get into the whole package effectively, don't you? And I think it's all much the same, no matter what car or bike or whatever you're into. It's we're all kind of the same, really. It's just happens to be you might favour one mark over another or something like that.
Yeah, definitely. Well, that kind of brings us on to the budget biker build-off.
Oh, yes.
Explain that then.
Well, go on, Josh. You explain.
Yeah, well, I think it was kind of just the idea of like. Obviously, I recently got to interview Bobby, who owns Indian Larry Motorcycles, on my podcast, and like for me, and even down to Matt having one of like an inspired tattoo from Larry as well, just shows you how far that like Larry's influence on the culture has gone. But the idea was, I was talking to Matt one night, and it was like this idea of budget biker build off, because there's so many people that can't afford to build or buy Harleys, let alone anything big and American is usually expensive, and it kind of just went from there, really, didn't it? It was the idea of making, like we were talking about in the car, because like so many people like turn their nose up at the set, like gatekeeping, like this, that, and everything else, and it seems to be that people forgot where this culture really started, whether it be 4 wheels or 2 wheels, hot rods, as you guys know, moonshiners, running, you know what I mean? It's like NASCAR came from moonshining, like, and then like bobbers come from lads being dropped out, literally abandoned after the war with their old WLAs, and all of a sudden they started cutting the bikes down. MC culture formed off of that, and it's almost like people seem to be addicted to what the scene is now, but forget that it actually originated off people that didn't have a lot of money. And I think that's kind of where, for me, it's like I'd never turn my nose up at someone that pulls up with a 50cc scooter, whether if they've gone to the effort of changing the indicators, ripping some bits off of it. They deserve their moment in front of the limelight, if you want to call it. And I think really that's kind of where I kind of wanted to, I said to you, I didn't want to get involved in if it all of a sudden became plus X amount of money. I don't want to, because the Harley scene has its own scene, the custom culture scene, expensive builds, they have them.
That's the Matchbook Custom Bike Show.
Yeah.
If you want
exactly.
limitless builds that have had tons of money spent on them and that are like top of their game, that's the Matchbook Custom Bike Show.
Yeah.
That's where that stuff goes.
Yeah, exactly. And at the end of the day, like, I think kind of like when you've got nothing to worry about, like this isn't going to affect Matchbook Customs. It isn't going to affect if you decide to do the Tiny Tykes thing. It's the fact that it's about bringing the culture closer together, and if you can inspire someone to pick to buy a bike for less than £1,000, because obviously the rules are that the maximum spend on it is £1,000. You're only allowed to spend £500 on building it, and we're all aware that is a massive ask. But it is about, if you want to turn up with a 50cc scooter, I don't care if it's Chinese or Korean or whatever, and you've lobbed all the frame apart and you've extended the frame and built this crazy thing, then that's what you do. I mean, a lot of people have heard of Russell Mitchell from Exile Cycles. He built Lambrettas, chopped Lambrettas in the UK, and has become one of the most respected bike builders. I mean, obviously he like revolutionised like your disc brake sprocket in one with the machined Exile Cycle rear caliper. A lot of part of the internal throttle system that a lot of people buy from him even till today. And it's the idea of like how many people don't know that he built scooters as well as being a model. He went to America chasing his modelling career.
He built some tough looking shots.
Do you know what I mean? And it's like that's kind of like where I think it's about bringing it back to where it all began and inspiring people to jump into the skip.
Accessible.
Yeah. So what is it? £1,000 purchase price.
£1,000 the bikes, and then to stop people from having that one friend that has a Sportster that let them have it for £1,000. The bike isn't allowed to exceed £2,000 market value.
Right.
So running and going bike, it is not allowed. You go on eBay, Auto Trader. The bike's not allowed to exceed £2,000.
So up to £1,000 to buy it, 500 quid to mod it, and it can't be any more than £2,000. And that's not to say you can't buy a bike for 50 quid and really challenge yourself, but
absolutely.
Someone said I saw Matchbook shared it, and someone said, "Bloody hell, that's a bit tight." And then Matt went back and said, "Yeah, but that's part of the challenge."
Exactly.
You're not going to go out and buy something that's already done for £1,000. You're going to buy something that needs work.
Yeah, you're going to buy a GS 850.
Can you?
You're going to buy.
I'd feel pretty confident that I could go out there and buy something for £1,000.
Anyone can go and buy a Mark II Bandit for 600 quid on the road. Like you buy it this time of year. We all know that's what it's about.
Mate, I'd get a Bandit. I'd go down to Newark Steel. I'd go and get a load of bar. I'd build a wooden jig, and I'd hardtail that bitch all day long.
And that's literally what it's about. As long as obviously once a month you got to submit a photo, an update photo, and at the end of the day, people that are going to be walking around, you're going to know if someone's cheated. You're going to know if someone's pushed a boat. And why would you? Because then you're not even going to be appreciated. You know what I mean? You put yourself in the limelight.
Yeah.
Any one of us are going to walk around that, even if it's only 4 bikes.
Saying that, someone might come back with something that's very, very, very nice because they've got a lot of skill.
Yeah, that's what it's
You know
about.
what I mean? So it's like, also, don't make it, it doesn't have to be a rat look bike.
No.
You can go all out if you've got the skills, and you can airbrush.
At the end of the day, you get, let's say, if Matt turned up and he was building a bike and he's a pinstriper, I mean, could you imagine how insane the paint job would be if Matt was building a 50cc scooter and he just wanted to, it's about...
the bike would be terrible, but the paint job would be good.
but you know what I mean? That's kind of where it's at. I think that's where the magic...
to Andy's Man Club as well, haven't you?
Yeah. So we're trying to obviously get them. Officially, they won't be able to get a group of lads together to build the bike. Meaning, and I say officially, like they're not going to be able to host a workshop ran by Andy's Man Club. But hopefully, they can get a group of lads that are they do go to a meeting once a month, and they want to build a bike on behalf of Andy's Man Club. I think would be great.
I might be able to put you in contact with someone about that actually.
Would you?
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah. Someone who actually came to Custom Culture last year, who works with Andy's Man Club.
Oh, awesome. Well, I did speak to somebody on the phone, but even better so,
Andy's Man Club?
So it's like it's for men's mental health basically. So it's like
I think I've heard
yeah, you probably would have heard it. It's but it's
trying to teach them it's okay to actually chat about your feelings. It doesn't make you.
Yeah.
It's nice to have an outlet.
Exactly.
Welcome to the world of building bikes. Do you know what I mean? It's or building anything.
Yeah.
Putting your hands to work. Put your hands to work. Less time for your head to work.
Loads of stuff like that helps. My dad used to
on
do.
Radio 2, I think, a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, they are quite out there, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean they're a big thing.
To him on Radio 2.
It's like there's another one that's for older fellas. My dad, sadly, I've not long lost him, but he used to do something called Men in Sheds, and it's just a load of retired fellas getting together and just building stuff. He was a carpenter by trade,
Wow.
so
really
it's
cool.
doing stuff like that, and they get sometimes get commissions for local councils and stuff like that. But it's getting people like that out and doing something, because they've probably, like my dad he started work at 15 and retired when he was I think mid-60s. That's all he did.
That's
was
So it's
enjoy
not
it.
natural to just stop.
No.
Exactly.
And never do it again, is it?
And so he's bored at home, and there's loads of different things like this. This is just a specific one I know about. Gets them out, talking to people, and just doing something with their hands and keeping them active, giving them something to do. And I can imagine if you retire after such a long working life, you're perhaps going to feel a bit useless and a bit down, and that's hopefully combats it. Same as Andy's Man Club. It's trying to bring these people together and saying, look, whatever you're going through, it's easier when there's someone else there, however bad it might be.
Yeah. And obviously somebody like your dad, like he would have grown up being a generation that they don't talk about the feelings. So the idea being that you can hang out with it's almost like this code of speak that you're basically telling your friend that something's going wrong, but you're not even saying it in them words. That the older generation spoke about things. All right, mate, how you doing? That's kind of are you okay?
Yeah.
A kind of a nod type of thing.
Well, the missus has been beating me up again.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's been that said a few times.
Fuck.
That's one thing that men have always never had a problem with talking about, is how nasty the missus has been to him that day.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about it.
You made me stop my bike.
Oh dear, yeah. So yeah, I mean, I think like if you can see the sort of the trend in what we've sort of spoken about today, in a lot of these like demos and things we want you to get involved in, it's low end, it's accessible. We want you to get involved, do something with somebody, like build some shit with somebody, and like, and then bring that to the show and like feel a sense of pride. You know what I mean? And let your imagination just go nuts and have a bit of fun. The more people that are involved in the show, the better, isn't it?
Yeah.
And
something I used to do with Van Jam years ago, which I'm going to bring back this year, was I'd get an old Volkswagen Bug, paint it white, or a camper, put it on a big plastic sheet and let the kids paint it.
Oh, that's great.
Off at that night.
That's cool.
Yeah.
They do it again,
yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
What do you do? Just like plastic coat it?
Yeah, just white two-pack paint.
Oh right, yeah.
You can paint like watercolours or
wipe
marker
straight
pens,
off.
Yeah.
and then
That's clever.
That's a cool idea, that, mate.
At night.
The Liberty Walk have
Yeah.
just done the same
Yeah.
thing with an F40, Ferrari F40.
Are they? Oh, that's sick.
Yeah, something you could do, just any other
Yeah.
bike, couldn't it?
Well, that's it. So
Use that.
that's what we want. Is
Yeah.
we want the kind of the people coming to the show to be a part of the show. They already are because
Yeah.
they're coming along.
Yeah.
But we'd like them to be more involved if they want to be.
Yeah.
And it's like with the biker build off, possibly the cozy coupe build off, and things like that. It's just trying to make something fun for everyone, and like Jake says, to show that you don't need. Yeah, there's some beautiful cars and bikes there. There's that Lincoln that me and Pete gave kind of most of the awards to last year.
That was.
There
that
are
was
some
beautiful,
amazing. Was it
beautiful.
Lincoln? The red saloon.
It was kind of
I know,
blood red,
right.
wasn't it?
I can't remember it.
Yeah, I think it got best of show, and I think we gave it best
Best paint.
paint and best colour.
That candy red, wasn't it?
Yeah, there are amazing things like that that have probably got, for all we know, six-figure price tags. But also, it's about just making do with what you have and just making something cool and enjoying yourself. It doesn't matter if you're the only person in the show who thinks it's cool.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to respect it because you built it, and it's unlikely, but everyone's going to respect you and appreciate it because you built it with your own two hands, and you're just getting involved and having fun, which is what it's about.
Yeah.
Which is kind of like going, like both of you spoke a lot in the past on the other podcasters, where the custom culture is not a bike show, it's not a car show, it's so there is that almost that lack of seriousness to the show, because it is not, we're not competing against car and bike shows, because that's not what it is. It's a custom culture show.
Yeah, the culture.
And like you say, so that's why it's like, oh, that can't turn up because that's not good enough. It's at the end of the day, there are spaces for everything, which is everything.
Yeah. I think we'll go to our ad break from Welcome.
Rev up your creativity with Wallcom UK's cutting-edge tools, designed to revolutionize the way you approach custom painting. Our 360-degree light attachment is a game changer, providing unparalleled visibility for flawless results on every vehicle you paint. Say goodbye to missed spots and uneven coats, as Wallcom UK empowers you to paint with confidence and precision. Trusted by industry leaders, our tools are crafted for creators who demand excellence in every project. Don't settle for ordinary when you can achieve extraordinary. Join the next wave of custom creators and experience the future of custom painting with Wallcom UK. Revolutionize your craft. Elevate your artistry. Explore more at Wallcom.uk and follow on Instagram at Wallcom UK. Wallcom UK, setting new standards for custom vehicle painting.
Right, we're back. We're back, and that was a word from Welcome. I think I shared some of their spray guns the other day on the story, but man, if you've had enough of shit spray guns and you want to step up to the really premium stuff, and you also want to get yourself into, get yourself spending some money and not tell the missus and all that good stuff.
Man, if you want something framed nice on your wall in your garage, they're beautiful, aren't they?
Yeah.
They are, mate. Yeah. To be honest with you, it's great. It's spray gun porn all day.
Yeah.
Innit, really. And I might even be getting some of their products to try out on the truck. Depends on where I end up painting it. But that Evo light, I think it's going to come in very handy. Do you do a bit of spraying, or do you?
Yeah.
You spray all yourself. You paint yourself and stuff.
Yeah.
Right. Do you have a booth?
I don't at the minute, no.
So how do you work around?
As long as the room's warm and the metal's warm before you start painting it and everything's prepped properly, you're fine. I tend to paint in a tent at the minute.
Right.
So I pull it into the tank, get everything warm in there.
What, like a gazebo, or is it like because I've seen the inflatable ones. They're pretty cool.
Yeah, no, just like a market trader's tent,
So you just need something to keep the weather out, don't you, effectively?
Well, no, it's inside the building.
Oh, right, so just to keep
pull it in, keep the dust down.
Get the spray in 2K.
Yeah, fan it. You got a fan sucking anything out.
Yeah. What's a bit of cancer, eh?
Yeah. I'm still here.
I mean, that's the thing.
I've been painting for years.
That's the thing, though. It's like the old school way of doing things.
Yeah.
Nowadays, it's like you would not see. Like they look like they're going into Chernobyl or something. The way they're dressed, with 2K and stuff. But I guess a lot of people had bad experiences with that sort of stuff, didn't they?
I mean, it is really dangerous. But I mean, as long as you've got an air-fed mask and, like you say, some
good bit of ventilation, and stuff.
Some ventilation, some kind of extraction. As long as you're clever with it, you can do it kind of old school, kind of low buck. But you just got to be careful.
Yeah, well, I mean, I bought some Nitromors the other day and it's shit.
Oh, it's water-based now.
Oh, it used to be
It's water-based, yeah.
Nitromos
Shit.
is terrible, yeah.
No, it's always been water-based.
Has it always been water-based,
yeah,
is
but
it?
it's just got crap.
Yeah.
They've
now.
taken the good stuff out.
Yeah. I didn't think it was, really. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, literally, like, you know, it was like pointless. And then I read on it, it says like anything pre-70s paint, it won't take off.
Anything like cellulose-based.
Yeah,
something
because
like
I mean, like, you know, like you come to stripping paint off something old and you're like, what the fuck's under this? It's like plasticky, vinyl-y stuff underneath, isn't it? Don't know what they were using, but it can't have been good for you. That's probably why they changed it. You know what I mean?
Lead-based stuff.
Yeah, it would have been lead-based, like little Timmy's teeth's falling out, but the roof of the Chevy looks cool. So sort of what got you into the culture then, mate? Or was it just been
so
like...
even thinking back, I can't remember what got me into the hot rod scene, but all I remember is my mum used to say, "Don't bend down in front of Pete or paint your arse." You know, so I used to take my cars to bits as a kid. I suppose a lot of people did, and then I went to scooters, painting scooters, building scooters. I did my first roof job on a 57 Sunbeam Alpine.
Right.
Yeah.
How old were you?
15.
No.
Shit.
Wow.
Yeah. I painted.
What, and you were already chopping roofs?
Yeah. I painted my first car when I was 16. That was a Ford Pop. That was Julian Russell's from Pop Parts Plus. I painted his car in his garage. I used to build stuff on.
So in
on
proper
my
natural calling.
Yeah. Council estate, car park, building.
So were you scooters or was you on the bikes?
Scooters early, and then went to bikes.
Yeah. Did you have quite a big bike scene around where you were then, or?
In Lincolnshire, there's quite a big bike scene. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Harleys now. Was sports bikes, but Harleys now.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But
Are you firmly a Harley guy or?
No, I've got a Harley, I've got a Triumph, I've got a Blade as well, and I've still got scooters.
Right, fair enough. I'll tell you what, I mean, you know, even if you're not a scooter guy, like the work that goes into some of them scooters, I mean, they're fucking amazing. They are amazing, and I'm not a scooter man. Do you know what I mean? But it's like I can still look at them and think, wow. Yeah. You know, those ones that were at the Custom Culture, it was just like one guy who brought like some really nice ones, but I mean, the paint jobs were fucking insane.
Yeah.
They do seem to go a bit more wild with that. It seems like there's no kind of accepted way of doing it. Just basically do what you like.
I don't even know how you work one. A scooter. Yeah, don't you like? You've got fucking pedals and like, don't you? They're in the clutch like a rolling clutch on.
Yeah.
Well, I think
no, it's the gears. Which side? The gears on this side, clutches on the same side.
I've never seen you look so confused.
I think you start it up. All I remember my dad saying is you start it up.
Oh no, he's about to
dry your hair. Get knocked off by a rocker.
Oh, now I'm going to get fucking letters.
Mods and rockers, you know. That's what my dad was a rocker.
Final Custom Culture Blast Off podcast. It's been nice.
Yeah, it's quadrophenia all over it.
Yeah.
A lot of mods are just going to bust down the door and beat us up.
That was all media fed. It was all crap.
Yeah, it was all
media
bull,
fed
wasn't
on
it?
that, and then it just went because the news said it. That you know, it was all.
I tell you what, I always thought like, you know, rockers, bikes, they'd beat the shit out of the mods. Mate, you want to go to a skinhead valley and see them all in scooters and stuff. You
no.
You ain't walking over there and hitting any of them boys, mate. I tell you now.
And now, obviously, they get together. Now you got like the mods and rockers right out from the Ace Caff down to Brighton. You know, that's a massive run. Cool. Yeah, my old man joins that run. Yeah,
it's the same thing we keep talking about. It's community. We're all into the same stuff. Just they're slightly different.
Yeah. Sorry, I know it's really out of context, but why haven't I been doing this? Every time I do
take my strong hand.
Welcome back.
Yeah, you look like a really little hand.
Yeah, so I'll just leave this here.
Yeah, that's worse.
Leave it here, will you?
Yeah. I don't want it back.
It's lonely in here.
Yeah, I wouldn't have it back after what he's probably got in mind for it.
Stand anyway.
Oh, I can't use it. Oh dear. So with the show and stuff. So with your show, it's called the Hotrod Rumble.
Yeah.
And whereabouts is it?
It's at Ramsey Camp. It's a World War II lighting battery base.
Oh,
So
right.
it's beautiful place. Still got a lot of its old features, buildings and things like that, and the old I think it was a mess hall. That's all done out, proper vintage inside, stage, bar, the lot. You know, it really lends well.
All in one.
All in one, yeah.
Oh, happy days, mate.
Yeah.
Happy days.
Yeah, it's quite a big place as well for camping and stuff.
I was going to say, do you do
roadways? You know, still the roadways there, and
that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Do you get to use other bits of the camp then, or is it kind of like the old mess?
No,
and stuff
it's the whole camp we use.
Right, bloody hell.
Yeah,
that's cool.
And a big field next to it.
So what made you come across that place then?
I went to VHRA Vintage Hotrod swap meet.
Right.
And I'm like, this place.
This is the place. Yeah.
Yeah. It took me about 4 years to get we locked down and.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
And things, you know.
How did that affect you? Was you gearing up and then sort of COVID happened and took you offline for a bit, or?
A few things happened in personal life and stuff. You know, both got ill and things like that. So it was a bit of a.
Kind of backburned it for a little bit.
Yeah. And we opened the hot rod place at Grantham during lockdown, which was probably not the best idea.
What was that? An actual hot rod building shop, was it?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, on the 52, on the A52. But,
oh, cool.
Yeah, but I had showrooms and everything, but I just couldn't get good staff. It was staff. A couple of lads was all right.
Yeah.
A couple of lads wasn't. Needed 7.
Oh, man,
so was that skill set or kind of work attitude?
I think a couple was work attitude.
Yeah.
Skill set, I invested in a couple of lads to learn a skill set.
Mm-hmm. God, that's an opportunity.
Yeah. And I'd get people in with the skill. And they'd come in thinking it was like Gas Monkey Garage, you know what I mean? All glamour and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Actually, no, it's hard work, mate.
Of course it's hard work, yeah. It all is. Metal shaping, stuff like that. It's heavy graft.
Yeah,
it is,
so, they won't last 5 minutes.
A lot of it's quite laborious and like repetitive tasks.
Yeah.
You know, you have to be locked in.
Yeah.
You know, and have a good sort of self-discipline. You know, otherwise, you know, if you've got to stand and watch someone work, you might as well fucking do it yourself.
Yeah.
And it's finding people with good self-discipline to do long, boring, shitty jobs that they don't want to do. But it's like at the end product, you know, it will come through.
Yeah,
you know, that's the thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
If you're hammering out a panel and then running it through an English wheel, you may as well be at the gym, aren't you? I mean, it's heavy work.
Yeah.
Yeah, we built 2 trucks for the what's that film? Jeepers Creepers trucks for the.
Oh yeah. Really? Oh wow.
Yeah,
cool.
Got a chance of a series with Quest, Discovery Channel, and it's just couldn't get folks to work.
Yeah,
really couldn't get folks to work.
Yeah, you know? I mean, you have to have a real passion. It has to be a real passion. This sort of stuff, doesn't it? You can't fake it.
No,
it shows, doesn't it?
It does.
You know,
it does.
Yeah,
it was great while it lasted.
Yeah.
How long did that last for?
3 years.
Right.
3 years, yeah.
Was it a hard 3 years? Of like dealing with them sort of problems.
It was pretty hard, but got through it.
Heavy is the crown and all that, though, isn't it?
I found myself not working. I found myself just telling people what to do. And I like to be hands-on. I like to be building something.
Yeah.
And that was hard for me.
Yeah.
But now I'm back building again now. So.
Well, we've said before on like the Pimp My Ride and stuff. It was like you're missing out months of time.
Yeah.
Where it's taken these guys to get it from looking like that to that, you know, or skimming a body of a car.
Yeah.
It's not like cue the montage where you bit of body filler and sand it off. It's like it's days and days and guide coats and sand it back off and guide coat it and sand it back off until you've got all everything's completely level. No one sees that.
No.
I mean, to be fair, I think the only the American show that showed all that would have been American Hot Rod, because they did used to show
Boy Cannington,
didn't they, and things like that.
Yeah.
But then it got overtaken by the drama. It started as an interesting show, and then it became a soap opera, like Orange County Choppers and stuff like American Chopper and stuff like that. It just became about big American fellas just wanting to strangle each other. And
throwing chairs and shit.
You sat there thinking, I want to watch them build stuff. That's why I'm watching this, is because I'm interested.
Yeah.
When we did the Jimmy Doherty's Dream Builds on Wheels, they was trying to get me to start shouting and cursing and stuff like that.
Right.
That's not me.
No.
You know.
No, I'll quietly tell you you're pissing me off.
Yeah, can you, you know, at
tell you
one
back
time,
and threaten you.
I screamed at John one day. He says, "Oh, come on, Pete, you know, am it up a bit." So I shouted at John, "John, get your ass in here!" And he comes running. What have I done? I says, "Oh no, mate, I'm just practicing."
Just practicing for telly.
You know, I had to say things I didn't really want to say, just to make it a bit more dramatic.
That's it.
But
Yeah,
life is dramatic now. Everything's hammed up.
Yeah.
You know, the weather's
That's
hammed
it.
up.
But like people aren't buying into it anymore. Like that's why YouTube has gone so big, because you got freedom of doing what you want now.
Yeah,
you know,
we talked about this, didn't
spoke
we?
about loads.
It's like Motor Trend TV kind of dying a death. Not only that was the whole paywall thing, basically self-defeating, and the geolocks thing to America, like cutting out however what percentage of their fan base. But the whole we're going to lose the shop and all that kind of thing. No one wants to see that. They want to see people building stuff.
Yeah.
I used to love. They're the only ones I'd sit through and watch.
Yeah.
Because, you know, what was the one that used to drag a car out the scrapyard and do 1,000 miles? Which one was that?
Roadkill.
Roadkill. Yeah,
I
brilliant.
used to love that.
Yeah.
Because it's just two mates doing exactly what we all want to do if we have the spare time, and if Dodge gave us £5 grand.
There wasn't pretty boys. It was just a group of mates.
Like Vice Grip Garage and all. Stay Tuned and all that. The kind of people that have come off the back of Motor Trend TV folding, at least. They are just people that enjoy building cars, and they're in the dream position of being able to do that and make an all right living.
Do you know, one of the best car programs on TV, I think, in my opinion, is Wheeler Dealers.
Well, it's the longest standing.
Because it's never any arguments, it's never any bullshit. They work together, and it's like you actually see step by step on what's actually happening.
Well, I wouldn't say they work together, because Ed Charlie used to do most of the work.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Well, even Ant's a good. Ant's good, isn't he?
They definitely have the skill sets, didn't they? One of them used to do the wheeler dealing, basically.
And Mike was just like a gobby shit. But it's like, you know, it was.
But again, I think what works with it is he doesn't claim to be anything else. But you know, he mentions of back in the day.
Out of himself.
Yeah, he mentions back in the day how he used to do the odd bit when he was in his youth, but he doesn't claim to be that guy anymore. You know.
But it is interesting. It is an interesting.
Yeah,
well, that's what we want, is just honesty. Just we want to see people building interesting stuff like we would want to build, or like we do build, and just the honesty of it's not about shouting at each other, it's about just kind of doing it and getting stuck in it. Show us how you do it as well. I don't want to see wreck, finished car. I want to see what went into it.
Because I'm trying to learn.
Exactly.
I'm trying to pick up tips and tricks. Do you know what I mean? I think that's part of it. You know, it's like, you know, because once you've done a bit of metal fab on like a 60s American car or whatever, that metal fab that you've just seen is going to be transferable to maybe something that you've got. Yeah, it might not be the same shape, but how they went about it and the tools that they used and stuff is like, that's what you want to see. The nitty gritty of it. You know what I mean?
No, that's it.
But
so like, what inspired you to actually put your show together? Obviously, did you just feel that there was a space missing? It was a show that was missing in this region, or right?
I did. Although, you know, like there's a few custom shows about, there wasn't sort of a lifestyle show, you know, with the vintage hot rods. Not in this area anyway. There wasn't anything like it in this area that sort of had everything, with the music, the cars, and the background, if you know what I mean, with the venue and stuff. That was it, you know, really.
So you've obviously seen like that the venue was really not just the cars and the lifestyle, but the venue kind of, the whole thing had to work to kind of sell that experience, basically.
I did do the first time it was hot on was at the rugby club at Newark, but it was a Rockabilly Hot Rumble then. And although the event was okay, it just wasn't a great. It's a nice venue, but it wasn't a great venue for that show. You know what I mean?
Well, the venue makes everything, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
You know, it's like it sounds like you've landed on your feet and we've landed on our feet, really,
Yeah.
with the venues that we've got
Yeah.
at our disposal.
No, it's a really cool venue.
You know, and it's like they add a little bit of something different,
Yeah.
and that changes the entire vibe of the show, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And the whole atmosphere. I think sometimes the showground can feel a little bit lifeless and a little bit commercialised.
Yeah.
That's why I always went to the southern side of the showground with Van Jam. There's there's the trees and there's the walk with the dogs. There's the clock tower. And
well, I
stuff
never
like
knew that was actually you.
Yeah.
That was actually organising that.
Yeah.
To be fair, because we always did the clean up for it with the company, my dad's company.
Oh right.
So yeah, we work at the show. We've been at the showground for about 15 years now. So yeah, we would have been crossing paths unknowingly.
Probably, yeah.
But yeah, you used to have quite a lot of people down there.
Yeah, people used to come. They'd go to the year on year. They'd camp where they camp every year and stuff like that. You know, I had to save places for people. You know.
That's when you know you're getting established, isn't it? When you're getting your regulars who always go to the same spot.
Yeah.
And that's when you know you're getting somewhere.
I just found it hard with the showground that the change staff so regular. The director there, Jane, I used to get on really well with Jane. Then once she retired, it just kept going downhill for me.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But Callum Hall for Van Jam's great.
Callum Hall's a nice place,
Beautiful
ground, isn't it? That beautiful ground.
And the staff there are great.
It's on the way out to Nottingham, isn't it?
Yeah, Newark.
Yeah, just outside Newark, isn't it? Or
Yeah.
depending on which way you're coming from.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So is this show still active as well? The panel, Van Jam.
Yeah.
Right. So you run 2 shows.
Yeah.
And
It's hard work in it doing too. Get your wires crossed a bit, don't you? Sometimes.
Yeah, you can do. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I get talking about country, like doing all, the country lineup that we've got for the barn jam. Like it ends up bleeding into the custom culture, and I'm like, whoa, I just need a second.
Yeah, I think sometimes you can take one band from that event and put it into the next event. You know, if it fits in well.
Yeah. Is there a third on the horizon anytime soon, or
third event?
Third event of the year?
Not this year. Oh, there might be. I don't know yet. But there will be a third. Yeah, I want to bring back Rockabilly Rumble. So I split them both. Split the one show into 2, but I've not done the Rockabilly Rumble yet.
I mean, it's a good name.
Yeah, I want to get the Hotrod Rumble up running first.
So would Rockabilly Rumble be more of a music event, or
Yeah,
the lifestyle and that sort of stuff. Yeah, sure. I mean, that sounds really cool. Anyway, what, same place?
I don't know yet.
Yeah.
Don't know.
Yeah, I mean, at least I kind of, you've got them kind of spread out, so at least you get to go from one mode to the other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's,
I mean, the feedback for Hotrod Rumble last year was great. It was really good. Got a lot of Southerners, which was good because it's not so far. It's not past Newark. People don't like going past Newark.
It seems to be an invisible line, doesn't there? Where
so I've got quite a lot of Southerners. Advertised it on Rockabilly 24/7, Rocking 24/7 Radio, and Rockabilly 24/7.
Right.
Rockabilly Radio, sorry. Which worked well.
Yeah.
That might be something for you guys.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, it's finding trying to push your festival out there, man. I mean, it used to be flyers and just flyers, didn't it? And now you've got, it can almost be overwhelming sometimes with all the different fucking avenues you can go down to push your stuff out, and if you choose wrong, you've just wasted all that time and effort. You have to be quite savvy with where you're putting your time and effort and energy, don't you, nowadays? There's a lot of dead end streets, isn't there? Well, I mean,
it's easy. It's easy to kind of put a lot of effort into things, but also, even with content online, you just don't know what it could be. That one show that you never expected to pick up. That one, episode 1 would be better than episode 4, and then I think once someone discovers episode 10 and they go back, and everything just kind of people like to binge stuff, so with content as well, you just don't know what it's going to do.
It's not easy getting trade at an event as well. It's trying to convince trade to get there. They like to see you pushing the event. You've fell well with Sue and Nick, they get stuck in the.
They are a godsend.
They are godsends. A pair of them. Yeah,
definitely. But,
it'd be a different. We're lucky enough that we had. Obviously, you had Linda and Chris that built up such a good rapport with people.
Yeah.
So that as soon as people heard Custom Culture was back, they were kind of up for it anyway.
Yeah.
But obviously Sue and Mick obviously have like the personal contacts to be able to like finalise it with them.
Yeah.
But I mean, you know,
it's a shame I didn't get my hands on Custom Culture. It really is.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, it's but then I guess it's led you down the Hot Rod Rumble and stuff.
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah.
You know, like, you know,
and kind of going back to like Mick and Sue, like that's what podcasting does as well. Like the fact that by talking to people you create connections, and even though this isn't maybe not live on a radio station, like trying to promote two different events, it creates connections. Do you know what I mean? It really does. That's what's so powerful with podcasting.
Yeah, and a lot more events like you know that are similar should be getting together and being sound of each other. You know,
I can't see the reason, the point in. Oh, I'm not helping you. You run another event, or
like,
me and Toby get on. You know, Skego Vegas. Me and Toby get on well. When I'm going to one VW show, I'm going to be promoting this show as well as mine, and he's going to be promoting my Van Jam as well as Skego Vegas.
Yeah,
you know, we've been friends for years. You know.
Yeah,
it's not like it's on the same weekend, is it? Next door or something like that. It's people all go to the one they want to go to.
Yeah.
They're on different weekends. Hopefully they'll go to both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you are starting to get a north and a south, so that, you know, even if there is an event on that's quite similar, if it's down south and it's miles and miles away from you, well, it's miles and miles away from you. You're probably not going to be hitting around the same sort of people anyway.
No.
The best thing to do is to just like solidarity and keep the culture alive.
Yeah.
And the best way of keeping the culture alive is for people to not be funny and just like let's just help each other out. You know, I know it sounds a bit like hippie shit, peace and love and all that, but it is kind of like there's no harm in helping people.
No.
And there's no harm in sharing contacts and networking, like you just said. You know, networking out there, and you know, it's what makes the world go round. It ain't what you know. It ain't never what you know.
No.
You know, and it takes a minute to be nice to someone and you know and help them with their show.
Yeah.
And it's that same attitude in the American custom scene that we've just been talking about. With, you know, you can ring someone and before you know it, you know, it's like, oh, talk to so and so. He might have some parts for you. Talk to so and so. That's what it should be like. You know, oh, have you got anything going on in May? Oh no, but so and so does. You should hit that up. That's a good event. You know what I mean? So, you know, it's been awesome having you on, mate, and thank you for coming on. And what dates are your show?
July 18, 19, 20.
Awesome.
Which one's that for?
Hot Rod Rumble.
Hot Rod Rumble.
And Van Jam is June 28, 27, 28, 29.
Awesome.
At Kellamore.
Nice one. I'll put it all on the screen. And where can people...
pretty close together, them, aren't they?
Yeah.
Just bang it out.
Making it difficult for yourself.
At least they don't have to unload the lorry. You know?
Yeah. And where can people get their tickets?
Vanjamboree.co.uk and hotrodrumble.co.uk.
Oh, nice and easy.
I'll follow a link through Facebook.
Yeah, cool. I'll put all the details on the screen anyway, so people can see it. And yeah, have you heard of Gnarly Magazine before?
I have, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean,
I've still got my original skateboard, mate.
Have you?
Yeah.
Right.
Fiberflex Gore wings, AJ wheels.
Damn. I mean, for those of you out there that haven't heard of Gnarly Magazine, they are pretty much the American sort of equivalent to, if you want to round everything custom culture up and put it in a magazine, that's Gnarly Mag. From Ed Roth to Billy Lane to absolutely, you know, from metal flaking and this and that, you know.
Oh, it's different magazines. What I'm thinking.
It might be. I mean, they have been out there for quite a while.
Right.
There might have been something similar back in the day, like, you know.
Yeah, I remember a skateboard magazine called Gnarly.
That sounds about right, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It might have developed from that, yeah.
It could be.
But yeah, so yeah, I mean, like them on Facebook and Insta. Like they've got this. They're constantly sharing.
They got a massive following, haven't they?
Massive following. Like you know, and if hot rods and custom art and lifestyle and stuff's your thing, then get yourself over there and give them a like. And
I think they're quite involved.
They're
quite involved a lot with the official art. Like we were talking in the car, the official artists from like Ed Roth, like Rap Thing, and they seem to be promoting a lot of the official artisans that continue to paint and Rap Thing, like
and their competition
officially. Yeah,
you know, they obviously they do their art competitions, which is cool because it gives people.
Yeah.
Did you enter?
I didn't in the end. It kind of crept up on me. Yeah, so it got a bit hectic towards.
Yeah,
the
I kept tagging you in things to see if you.
I kept seeing them. Going, I'm going to do that, and then forgot about it. Went, oh yeah, that.
And then he ended up turning into the reminder of like the fact that you just kept putting it off. Like, shut up.
Yeah, now I've just put it out there. Like,
Josh is at your door, like, still slacking, mum.
Still sat there doing nothing. Yeah.
Awesome stuff. So yeah, like Josh said earlier, like our next one's going to be at Matchbook Custom. It's going to be live. And knowing Matt at Matchbook Custom, there will be donuts and there's coffee.
I like donuts.
I like donuts.
Stuff. So
excellent.
Definitely a good place. Definitely a good reason to go down. How far away from you from Stamford?
40 minutes.
Oh right. Well, if you're in the area, mate, you know, it'd be cool to see one of your motors. You know, if the weather's improved a little bit or whatever. And that about wraps it up. So if it's been a really good one, hasn't it? So,
been emotional.
Yeah, been emotional. We've laughed, we've cried, I've clapped.
several times.
Yeah, not my cheek, just so where can people find you, dude?
I'm on danger_sign on Instagram and danger sign, which is there. And
hey, you made us do this last time.
Doing it again.
I was going to say you didn't.
Yeah, sorry for interrupting. No, you did not. No, it was not on there. No, we are not your performing monkeys.
No, it sounds too confident. Did we just not see it?
It's not on there.
Tenner. I'm not shit. Tenner. Right.
It is not on there. Episode 3, it is not on there.
Which one?
The last one.
Yeah.
Black Sheep Customs, and you made us all perform like little monkeys. It's not there.
What must I spend my tenner on?
I think it is. I think I've seen it.
Thank you, Peter.
No, it's not.
I reckon he changed it after we watched it.
He must have changed it. It's not on there.
Back on there.
Yeah, that's what's happened.
And you can find us at _custom culture blastoff. And you said you've got the Hotrod rumble.co.uk and the VW
Van
Jamboree.co.uk. Yeah. Nice and easy. And what about you, mate?
666 Customs on Instagram and 666 underscores. Yeah.
And if you've landed this far, make sure you message Josh and say, make sure you give Jake his tenner, because it's not nice to make deals.
Yeah, and when make sure when you look and see that it's not on there, and make sure you comment underneath episode 3 with Black Sheep Customs and Highway 63, where it clearly at the end doesn't show that. And sorry for speaking over you, Matt. You were saying your usernames. I did interrupt.
Yeah, danger_sign on Instagram and danger sign on Facebook. I'm not even going to bother because I don't. Well, I mean, speaking of comments, as always, give us a shout, write a comment. Give us a like and subscribe if you want to. It doesn't cost anything. It'd be nice for us, and also it keeps you up to date. And also just fire questions at us. Let us know what you think of how the podcast's going. Let us know what you think should be at the show. Let us know what you're bringing to the show. Just give us a shout.
Yeah, and a big thank you to all the traders and the tattooers that have booked in so far. Like, it's awesome to have your patronage, and it's going to be even better with the bigger marquee and all the other good stuff we've got going on.
It's exciting times, yeah. There'll be more information about that, I imagine, as we kind of figure out where everything's going to go, but it is going to be very cool.
Yeah. Awesome. Happy days. All right, gentlemen.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Take it easy.
Cheers.
You have been listening to the Custom Culture Blastoff podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to subscribe and share it with your mates. Catch us next time for more stories from the custom scene, artist highlights, and behind the scenes look at everything that makes the KKBO so unforgettable. Keep it custom and catch you soon.